Dear students, welcome you all to the course that is Fabric Manufacturing Technology. In last sessions, we have discussed about what are the objectives of sizing. So mainly the objectives are to improve the weavability of yarn and to improve the abrasion resistance of the yarn, to get or to improve the tensile properties of yarn. So like we have discussed many objectives of the sizing. After sizing, what is the yarn is going to be get. Now after the sizing objectives, we have discussed that what are the size ingredients. So to prepare the size paste or to apply the size paste into the yarn, what are the size ingredients we have discussed, like primary ingredients, secondary ingredients. So the primary ingredients such as adhesives, antiseptics, softeners we have seen, and in the secondary ingredients category we have seen that deliquescents, anti-foaming agents, bluing and brightening agents, weighing agents. We have seen several agents under the category of secondary ingredients. So this section particularly we are going to discuss about what are the size recipe. So out of the size ingredients like primary ingredients as well as the secondary ingredients, what are the size ingredients we are going to take or we are going to select for particularly by considering like yarn type, yarn count, and as well as the yarn type of fiber. So by considering some of the parameters, we are going to select the ingredients, such as like if we have 100% cotton fiber or cotton yarn, so we are going to use a recipe different as compared with the polyester cotton blends of yarn. So 100% cotton yarn is having one recipe and PC blended yarn is having some other recipe. And it is not only the yarn type or fiber type we are taking. So we are also considering that what is the count of yarn and what is the quantity of particular ingredients while preparation of the or for the preparation of the size ingredients are. Okay. So for the size paste preparation, we need to consider all the parameters. So in particularly today's session, we are going to discuss about what are the size recipes for different yarn types or different yarns and how the size paste is going to be prepared for the sizing operation. Okay. So we'll look after the preparation of size paste. So first we will see what is an outline of size preparation process or size paste preparation process. So it involves basically like three stages. One is called as cold slurry preparation. Initially the size ingredients are going to be mixed with normal water or cold water. Cold nothing but it is not like a cool water or it is not like a hot water. It is like a normal water. So there is no temperature, and so that what will happen, the size ingredients whatever we are selected for the size paste preparation is going to be mixed homogeneously. So we can avoid the lumps formation in the sizing process. So that is why the cold slurry preparation process is very important in the size paste preparation process. And in the second step, we are going to cook the slurry. Whatever the cold slurry we have prepared, this cold slurry is going to be cooked into a particular time with proper stirring so that the size granules are going to become like a gelatinized. So gelatinization nothing but like a granules are going to burst or going to break at the particular temperature, and it is going to become a slurry or become a gel at particular temperature and the time. Okay, so the proper mixing or proper cooking is going to be done in the second step. So by considering the viscosity of the size paste and by considering the refractive index of the size paste or the slurry, so we are going to decide what is exactly the water quantity, if any, like a viscosity becomes more or thick slurry. Now we need to add some amount of water so that to maintain the viscosity of the size paste. Okay, so this is one of the parameter where the size paste viscosity is going to be varied or viscosity is going to be decided. And in the third step, we are going to transfer this cooked paste or prepared paste in the pressure cookers. So this size paste is going to be transferred for the storing purpose into the storage vessel. Okay, so whenever the storage vessel, what is the main thing is the storage vessel is having only the purpose of the storage vessel is to store the size paste. Okay, to store the size paste, because we are going to prepare like 1000 liters or 1500 liters of size paste at a time. But what we are doing actually in the process, we are not using or we are not utilizing all the amount, whatever we have prepared, we are not using at a time. So the size paste has to come for 8 hours of time or a day or 2 days or a day. Generally a day, it is not like a more than 1 day. So in a day it should become. So now if you cook the size paste and if you keep at one side, then what will happen? So because of the temperature drop down, the very thin layer or thick layer of the layer is going to be formed on the top of the size paste. So that is why mainly the storage vessel is going to have a mixture or a stirrer. Now what it will do is it will stir continuously and slowly so that it can avoid the formation of film on the top of the size paste. And the second one, in the storage vessel, we have a temperature control measurement. So one thing is having to control the formation of the film on the top of the size paste, and the second one, we need to control the temperature. Otherwise what will happen? If we are not maintaining the temperature, again the slurry becomes thicker. Okay, so the viscosity is going to become changed. So to maintain the viscosity of the size paste, we should have temperature control measurement system as well as a stirrer to homogeneously mix the size paste within the storage vessel. Then we will move on to what is the quantities or what is the recipe for particularly type of yarn. So here I have taken example for 100% cotton yarns or 100% cotton warp. So for this I have taken different count ranges like 40s count, 50s count, 60s and 80s NE, and I have selected these 4 counts, and these 4 counts are like 100% cotton yarn and that to the ring spun yarn. Okay, so for this I have selected that some of the ingredients, size ingredients, like water we are going to select. So obviously the water is required to mix or to prepare the cold slurry and to cook the size paste or size ingredients. Okay, so now I have taken in account that the 650 liters of water I have taken for the 40s count yarn, and majorly here I have selected 3 different types of size ingredients. So as I earlierly I mentioned that these size ingredients like a primary ingredients and the secondary ingredients. So out of these primary and secondary ingredients, some of the ingredients you can select. Some of the ingredients. It is not like that you need to use all the ingredients in the size liquor, because like I told an example, like if you want to increase the weight of warp, you are going to use the weighing agent. If you want to appear the fabric, the appearance of the fabric, if you want to change, then in that case you are going to use the bluing and brightening agents. Okay, so and these particular size ingredients, as I told previous sessions, like, so after sizing and after weaving. So sizing, why we are doing? To improve the weavability of yarn. So after weaving the size ingredients in the fabric, it is not required. So that is why in the chemical processing stage, what we are doing is we are removing the size paste. That is called as the desizing process. So specific to the manufacturing industry, for example, if it is having a continuous manufacturing like a weaving, then we have a chemical processing, clubbed together it is there, one industry, then you cannot or you are not going to use any kind of bluing agents or brightening agents or weighing agents. Okay, so in this case, a MNC company is having both the together, like weaving as well as the chemical processing. So whatever the size ingredients we are applying, so it is going to be desized in the chemical processing area. So now, to get the good weavability and to get the main sizing objectives, so here we have selected the 3 different types of size ingredients. So one is called as a modified starch, corn starch or maize starch as are generally going to use, and sometimes like we have adhesives along with the softeners, mixture of, so multi adhesives, so 2-3 adhesives together or 2-3 adhesives plus antiseptics together. So it will have like that combination. The manufacturers are going to be prepared the ingredients and it is going to be sent to the industry. So now in the second case, adhesives and softeners together it is there, and third one, that is ultra fine wax, is going to be used. So these are the 3 major ingredients we have selected for this particularly like 100% cotton yarn and particular count. Okay, you can see that 50 kgs of modified starch and 50 kgs of softener is used. Total together 100 kgs and 0.5 kgs of ultra fine wax is used. So that after preparation of the size paste, you can see that I have mentioned that viscosity. So what is exactly the viscosity is? Viscosity 6 seconds. Okay, viscosity 6 seconds means how we can check the viscosity of the size paste. What is exactly the viscosity is? Like you just take an example, like a water in one bowl, and in one bowl you have prepared like a gum. So one bowl water, one bowl we have a gum. Now the test method for this viscosity is we have a viscosity cup method. So there is a small cup. Okay, there is a small cup with the liquor, whatever the slurry we are going to pour in that cup is constant. The volume of this cup is constant. Now what we are doing is we have this cup, and at the bottom side of the cup we have a perforation. There is a hole. Now you just dip into the water. Okay, dip into the water. That is because we have taken the water as well as the gum, 2 ingredients or 2 liquors. Okay, so now you dip into the water and you slowly take up, and you see that what is the time required to drain out the water from the cup. What is you are going to see is you are going to calculate, or you are going to see that how much time it is taking to drain out the water from the cup. Okay, now you note down. Okay, say for example 3 seconds or 4 seconds, and as well as you take the gum, and in the gum you just dip the cup and you just lift it by seeing the stopwatch. You measure the time and you note down the time. Now can you tell me which slurry, the water and the gum, which is going to take more time to drain out from the cup? So the time required to drain out from the cup is going to be more time is required for the gum, because the gum is having thickness, okay, and the water is having very thin, slurry is very thin slurry. So now what we are seeing is, in the viscosity cup method, similar to the size paste, we are taking the size paste and we are measuring that how many number of seconds is taking time to drain out the size paste from the viscosity cup is. So that is the seconds I have given. Now 6 seconds, 7 seconds and 8 seconds. It depends upon the count of yarn and depends upon the size paste preparation. We are measuring and we are seeing that what is the viscosity required. And by this, again the size paste also can be measured, a refractive index. What is the refractive index of the size paste is. And along with that, we are going to measure that what is the size add-on percentage. So if you maintain this viscosity and this refractive index, how much amount of size paste is applying or adding into the yarn, we are going to measure 8%, 9%, 10% like that. Okay. So here, in an overall, you can observe from this table. So for 4 different counts, you can see that. So how many number of liters of water we have selected for the preparation of size paste, and what are the size ingredients, and what is the quantity of size ingredients we are using for the preparation of the size paste. Okay. So this is for particularly 100% cotton. Okay. And we will see here the PC blended yarn. Okay. The PC blended yarn. If the PC blended yarn is having like 67% and 33, then 85 into 15. This is the blend ratio in the yarn. Okay. Nothing but polyester is having 67 and cotton is having 33. Polyester is having 85% and 15% of cotton fibers present in the yarn. So depends upon this yarn. You can see here I have listed out that the ingredients what we have used is. Okay. So once it is coming to the polyester picture, now we are going for the synthetic adhesives like acrylic size paste or PVA. Okay. And we are also using CMC, carboxymethyl cellulose, thin boiling starches like LTKP and like tamarind kernel powders. Okay. So low viscosity tamarind kernel powders we are using. So along with that, antiseptics and antistatic agents are going to be used. And by these combination, you can adjust the size viscosity, and so that you will get the size pickup of like 16%. Okay. So this is the size recipe for particular type of yarn. So cotton and PC blend, if we have blends, the size ingredient selection is going to be different. Okay. So these are the things, and you can see the count wise I have given the table, small table. Okay. So you can see that how many number of pounds of starch we are using. So how many number of pounds or lbs of starches we are using for the particular count and type of yarn. Okay. So these are the size recipe so we are using, and size recipe. So from these only we are going to prepare the size paste. Okay. By taking all these size ingredients, whatever the selected size ingredients are there. So we are taking these size ingredients into the next level, that is size paste preparation process. So where I have explained what is the size paste preparation process, there are 3 basic steps in the size paste preparation process. One is called as cold slurry preparation, then size cooking, then size transfer, size paste transfer from the cooking vessel to the storage vessel. These are the 3 steps. Okay. So now we will see what is exactly this cooking vessel is consisting of. What is exactly the cooking vessel and the cold slurry vessel is consisting of. So you can see that figure. So A is the motor, B is the agitator getting direct motion from the motor. Okay. B is nothing but agitator, nothing but like a stirrer. Okay. So to mix the tank or to mix the water or size ingredients in the tank. Okay. Now the size ingredients are mixed with the help of agitator and in the mixing tank. So size ingredients are added in the mixing tank by the help of inclined lid or anything like pipelines or something, and we have added it into the vessel, and there is a supply steam pipes. So by using the steam pipe we are going to give a temperature into the size paste. Okay. Then the size ingredients passed through the wall, that is D, and it is going to be pumped into the cooking storage tank by the help of pump. Okay. Now this vessel, that is G, vessel number, that is storage tank and cooking tank, cooking and storage, where exactly the cooking can be done. Then after that cooking, so it is going to be transferred into the storage vessel. Now the first one is called as the cold slurry preparation. This cold slurry is going to be transferred into the cooking pressure cooker. Then after cooking the slurries, the prepared size paste is going to be transferred into the storage vessel. This is the 3 steps we are going to perform or we are going to use for the preparation of size paste. Okay. Now what is exactly the cold slurry preparation is? You can see that the ingredients are weighed accurately. Okay, by considering the moisture regain and moisture content, we are going to weigh the ingredients separately, individually. So whatever the ingredients we have selected for the size paste preparation. Then initially the cold water is taken into the vessel less than the final volume. See that the less than the final volume we are going to take the water in the cold slurry preparation, because to adjust the viscosity in the cooking, while cooking or after cooking, we need to keep some amount of water so that whenever the size paste viscosity increased or decreased, we can add or we can remove. We can remove nothing but we cannot remove. We can adjust the temperature and we can adjust the process parameter so that we can control the size paste viscosity and RF, that is refractive index. Okay. Then after starting the stirring mechanism, the starch should be mixed slowly. Okay. And then the other ingredients all are going to be added apart from except softeners and antiseptics. So except these softeners and antiseptics are going to be added in the slurry preparation process before the stirring stopped or before the boiling start. Okay. Otherwise what will happen if it is added in the cold slurry preparation process itself, then it is going to be transferred for cooking, right? So while cooking these, whatever the antiseptics and whatever the softeners are there, they are going to lose their property. So finally you won't get any effect. So that is why before stopping the boiling or before stopping the cooking of size paste, we are going to add these 2 ingredients or these particular ingredients, softeners and antiseptics, so that their properties will not be changed or will not be damaged. Okay. So then after that, this cold slurry is going to be transferred into the cooking. So now the second step is steaming and cooking. So we are using a steaming. So generally in the conventional mode of cooking, we are going to use the boilers where normal wood is the material to get the heat or to give the temperature. Now instead of that wood burning, and we are using that now the steam. So steam cooking, steam and cooking. So now the steam is introduced into the cooking vessel. During heating, size paste should be fast enough to keep the mixing. So otherwise what will happen, if you are not increase the stirring or if you are not increase the size paste mixing highly, then what will happen, because of the temperature giving, now this, because of the heat, the size granules are going to be settled down on the bottom and it leads to the lump formation or it leads to the paste formation under the vessel. So that is why we need to have very good high speed stirring, so that the size ingredients which are present in the slurry, that is cold slurry, is going to be homogeneously mixed throughout the size paste. Okay. So now that is why we are going to use the speed of this stirrer is 50 to 60 RPM. Okay. Then, so there are some starches like what is the temperature and what is the time to keep the to boil the size paste or to prepare the size paste is depends upon the starch or depends upon the adhesives we have selected. So depends upon that we are going to select the time required or time for the cooking. So now generally the starches like maize and tapioca require 1 to 2 hours to convert from the granules to the gelatinization form. So gel formation, it requires 1 to 2 hours. And particularly like a sago starch is required very high time, that is 3 to 4 hours of time is required to convert the solid state to or granule state to the gelatinization form. Okay. So that is why by considering what is the type of size ingredient or adhesives we are using, so accordingly we need to keep the time and the temperature. Okay. So it is going to be continued like 1 hour or 20 minutes, 30 minutes. So after particular time, after cooking time, again the size paste is going to be stirred properly, so that homogeneously the viscosity is going to be maintained homogeneously throughout the complete size paste. Then after this, the cooking is going to be stopped and this is going to be transferred into the storage vessel. So now we will see one by one what is exactly the sizing pressure cooker is consisting of. Okay. So the size pressure cooker consisting of pressurized installed. Okay. So stainless steel. This is like a stainless steel body, which is completely stainless steel body, which is covered. So you can maintain high temperature and the pressure also you can give. So that the pressure cooker, so by giving the heat and by giving the temperature into the size paste, it should not be damaged to the surfaces or other parts in the industry. So it provides with stainless steel agitator run by motor, reduction gear for stirring also it is there. Okay. And direct and indirect heating stainless steel coils are provided for cooking the size. Okay. So direct and indirect heating stainless steel coils. So inside also stainless steel coils. Okay. So are going to be used for the cooking. Okay. Then what is the features of these size pressure cookers are high temperature, high pressure also can be maintained, and viscosity and evenness of size is maintained for a long time or long period, and increase the efficiency of sizing. Okay. And saves labor, time and steam. Okay. Because we are using the pressure cooker, so there is no chances of wastage of energy, that is particularly energy. Okay. So that is in terms of steam as well as in terms of the labor, or labor nothing but manpower. Okay. And serves the purpose of preparatory stand, cooking vessel and storage vessel. Now the storage vessel we will see. Okay. So this is exactly the cooking pressure cooker is there, and inside there are stirrers and there is a motor at the top side so that it can drive continuously, and coils also there, and for proper mixing there are many blades, the stirring blades are there so that homogeneously it can maintain, and there are pressure valves also to control the pressure in the size liquor, and there are temperature control measurements. So there are so many control systems present in the pressure cooker. Okay. So this is how the pressure cooker is going to look. And there is a storage vessel. So I told like KBC is one of the company now, and I told what is the main thing is in the storage vessel is to store the size liquor with specific temperature, with specified temperature and viscosity. To maintain the viscosity and temperature, we are using and we are going to use the storage vessel for the storing purpose. For example, if the 600 kgs of or 600 liters of size paste is prepared, now you cannot store in that particularly like pressure cooker itself, because for example for the next quality you need to prepare another size paste, then the pressure cooker will not be available. So till the end of the size paste in the pressure cooker we need to wait for the size paste preparation. So that is why what we have is we have a storage vessel where we can store the size paste properly by maintaining the temperature and particularly by stirring, so that you can maintain the viscosity and the viscosity of the size paste. So now you can plan for the next quality in the size cooker, because the size cooker is empty. So this is the main purpose to use the storage vessel in the sizing area, that too particularly in the weaving preparatory process. Okay, so that is the thing. And the features are like a viscosity and evenness of the size paste can be maintained for a long period and increases the efficiency of sizing. Okay, and saves labor and time and steam. Okay, so these are the features of these particular storage vessel. And now this is what exactly the storage vessel is. Okay, and now we have a pre-mixer, that is to prepare the cold slurry. We have a pre-mixer, there is a motor and there are stirrers where you can add the water and the size ingredients, so that with cold water you can mix properly. Then this pre-mixtured slurry is going to be transferred for the cooking. So the transfer of cooking can be made by the simple pipelines with the help of pump mechanism. Okay, so from the storage vessel also the size paste is going to transferred to the sizing machine by the pipelines only. Okay, so there is a storage vessel and there is a pipeline, inlet outlet pipeline. Okay, inlet from the size cooking or pressure cooker and outlet to the weaving machine, or not weaving machine, sizing machine. Okay, so to the sizing machine it will be transferred through the pipelines. There are valves, there are like again the valves also covered fully, so that there should not be any temperature loss within the pipelines. Okay, so whenever it is required into the size box or sew box, is going to be transferred by just opening the valves or by the pumps. Okay, so this is the simple thing, and these are the few features of the premixture we have. Now we'll see here why and how the size add-on percentage is going to affect on the further process. So if you have maintained the size pickup percentage or size percentage onto the yarn, low, good, standard and optimum, high, very high, extreme we have given, like different stages. We have low, nothing but very less amount of size paste is applied. Extreme, nothing but too much amount of size paste is applied into the yarn. So by considering all these things, now we have calculated that what is the efficiency in weaving. Okay, so the optimal size percentage or size paste add-on is going to be very, very required to get the good efficiency in weaving, that is in the further process. Okay, and efficiency, not only the efficiency, it is directly influencing the end breakage rate in the weaving machine. So you can observe that optimal size percentage add-on is giving the low or less number of end breakages in the weaving process, during the weaving process. Okay, and if you have a low and if you have very extreme size add-on into the yarn, it leads to have more end breakages, as well as the efficiency of the machine is going to be fall down. So that is why an optimum level of size add-on is required to the yarn, so that you can maintain the, you can control the efficiency and production in the weaving area. So these are the things. So particularly, so this session we have discussed about what are the size recipes for different yarns, how the size paste is going to be prepared, and how the size paste is going to be stored in the storage vessel, and what are the equipments we are using to prepare the size paste and cold slurry and the storage vessel, that is to store the size paste. We have discussed this session. So the next session we will go and we will discuss about the 2-cylinder sizing machines and multi-cylinder sizing machines, and different zones in the sizing machines we will discuss in the next class. Till then, thanks for listening. Bye.